What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and Britney Spears has been free for an entire year now. But her fans have been begging her and pleading with her for months on end to do a live stream on Instagram. And they're not begging her to go live on Instagram simply because they're fans or because they want to hear her sing or do a show or because they want to be entertained, although I'm sure that's the motive for some. The main reason everyone has been begging her to go live is because people want to see proof that Britney is really free. They want to see Britney live and how she interacts with her environment. They want to hear her actual voice. And hell, people want to see that Britney Spears is actually still alive. Why are people so worried about Britney Spears, you ask? Well, if you've watched my past videos on Britney, then you already know. But if you're new here, then people are scared for Britney because Britney has been doing some really weird, odd things on her social media account since she's been free. I mean, the only way I can describe her Instagram account, it's like a bad acid trip while watching a horror movie. I mean, Britney Spears' Instagram account is like The Shining meets Groundhog Day. It's like you're living the same day over and over again, and you're running through this maze of a reposted post, and every now and then Britney Spears jumps out of the bushes like, here's Britney, and just verbally abuses her own family members. I mean, her Instagram account would make any sane person feel insane, and it would make you worry about this girl's health, her mental health. And I'm worried that any day now we're going to wake up and see a headline that Britney is no longer with us, because it seems like she is slowly spiraling out of control every day in front of everyone's faces. And finally, people are noticing. But for the longest, people weren't saying anything about it. But finally, last night, after months of people asking, Britney, please go live. We just want to see that you're okay. You know, because other celebrities, they're doing live streams, they're making appearances, they're doing this and that. Britney hasn't been seen in public in I don't know how long. And her Instagram account, it constantly posts like old videos, and it's repetitive. Like, you will see Britney post the same exact photo like 12 times in one day. It just gets really weird. The constant spinning, the fashion shows with old, out-of-date clothing and nothing matches, the disgusting, soggy, stanky brown heels. It gets really weird. You know, I mean, oftentimes Britney posts videos of her dancing around and you just see like piles of dog shit surrounding her on the floor. And she posts these incoherent captions with just like word salads, talking all over the place. And it makes you feel like you're watching a kindergartner. You know what I mean? Like, look what I can do. Like, that's the only way to describe some of what you see on her account. But anyways, last night, Sam Asghari, which is Britney's husband, he went live on Instagram. And he had Britney right next to him. So in many ways, this is the first live stream, I guess, or the first Instagram live we've kind of gotten from Britney. But you don't see Britney, but you hear her talking. And I'm telling you, this little clip, it's short. I want you all to listen to it, but it provides so much insight for me to see how Britney really is behind the scenes, and it's just as I expected. But let's go ahead and listen to this clip.
This is what's called Instagram Live, baby. We're live on Instagram. Why don't you ever go live on Instagram?
I'm always live.
Because you're always live.
Always live.
Can I show you or no?
Huh?
Can I show you?
Show me what?
I'm live.
What are you talking about?
Should I turn the camera on you?
I don't need to see anything, I know.
But you're always live.
I'm always live.
This is what's called Instagram Live, but we're ending it now. So have a good night. This is what's called Instagram Live.
I want to jump in. I have nothing to say. I don't want to talk to them right now.
Sounds good.
I want to jump in. I have nothing to say. I don't want to talk to them right now.
Sounds good.
And up here, look.
Fellas.
You grab here and you do pull-ups here.
If you want to
you stand in the front,
have an
you
easy
shoulders,
life,
you
just
can do a
pretend
full
like you're
workout
listening to
here.
your wife.
Just right here
Yep.
underneath that square.
That's
Just a square,
crazy.
like my triangle on my right arm. So look.
That's crazy. It's a good
Weights.
thing. Yeah, that's crazy.
Weights there. The string. And up here, look.
Fellas.
You grab here and you do pull-ups here.
If you want to
you stand in the front,
have
your
an easy
shoulders,
life,
you
just
can do a
pretend
full
like you're
workout
listening to
here.
your wife.
Just right here
Yep.
underneath that square.
That's
Just a square,
crazy.
like my triangle on my right arm. So look.
That's crazy. It's a good
Weights.
thing. Yeah, that's crazy.
Weights there. The string.
Is it just me, or is Sam talking to her like a kid? Or he's talking to her like an elderly person? You know what I mean? You know how like older people, once you get to a certain age, you start digressing mentally and you kind of have to handle them with the same care that you handle a child. I don't know if he's talking to her like a child or like a grandparent here, but it's a weird dynamic for you to have with your wife. And he's like, this is what you call Instagram Live. And, you know, and Britney's like, huh? And it's weird because people are under the impression that Britney was in this conservatorship for, you know, all of these years and that she didn't know about technology. They act as if Britney was locked away to the point that she does not know about modern technology. She doesn't know about the internet. She doesn't know about social media. When in reality, that's not the case. Britney had access to the internet, laptops, cell phones the entire time. So please stop acting as if Britney is this fish out of water caveman that just like woke up in a new day and age and is finally seeing what modern day technology is like. No, that's not the reality of the situation. Britney has had access to these things. Has Britney chosen to use them? Maybe not. But anyway, he's talking to her and she's acting confused as if she doesn't know what an Instagram Live is. Why do I want to look at that? And from the way she's talking, it's like, I can't help but feel like I've been saying all along, it's like she's in this manic state. She's in like this manic state. This sounds like someone that's off their meds. I'm always live. I'm live. I'm like, what do you mean you're always live? I'm always live. You know what I mean? And listen, this woman knows that her fans have been asking her to go live for the longest. She knows about it. So Sam puts her in this awkward position, and you see how she really feels about her fans in that moment. No one's watching Sam's live to watch Sam. The only reason anyone cares about Sam is because he's married to Britney. So this entire live is filled with nothing but Britney fans. Okay? And in that moment, no, I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to talk to them. So that's how she really feels about her fans. She doesn't want to talk to you. She doesn't want to go live for you. But I know people are going to question, is this even really Britney next to him? Because we don't see her on video. So who knows? People have been questioning if Britney has body doubles. There's been all types of speculation out there. And honestly, I don't blame anyone for thinking whatever they think, because the situation has been so utterly bizarre that I can't even begin to explain to you all the situation overall, because you just have to be there, and you had to be there as everything was happening to fully understand. Now, you can go back on my past videos and you can catch up with a lot of the wild stuff that's been going on. But man, oh man, who knows if that's really Britney beside him? But I believe it is, and let's just assume it is for the sake of this video. Right there in that moment, you see that she doesn't have any interest in, I don't want to talk to my fans. You know what I mean? So she's not this sweet, caring, loving person that cares so much about her fans like people assume that she is. In fact, Britney has a really ugly, mean side to her. And that comes out all the time. I mean, this is a woman who trashed her own 15-year-old son on Instagram in front of 48 million people. But like the dynamic between them two, it seems off. And he's talking down to her. You know what I mean? And he should be talking up to her. For one, Sam is a nobody. Britney's one of the biggest music stars of our lifetime. For one, Sam is not the breadwinner. And Sam is younger than Britney. Yet he's talking down to her. That's something I noticed. So that's a weird dynamic. And then the way Britney's talking, what? I'm live, I'm always live. And the way she's talking, it's like it's all over the place. And then as you go forward, and when Sam's making that joke of, oh, just guys, my life is so easy. Just say, yeah, that's crazy. I laughed because I use that same technique sometimes. You know, a woman might be just going off talking about some stuff like, yeah, that's crazy. You know what I mean? So I understand what Sam's talking about. But I feel like Sam shows you the truth right there in that moment. Guys, my life is so easy. I just sit back and be like, yeah, yeah, that's crazy. All day long. That's all Sam does. And it's like, you think it's a joke, and it is funny in that moment because all of us guys can relate to that. But then you take a step back and you look at the situation and you realize that, no, this is 24/7 for Sam. Sam is almost like what I would call a handler of Britney. He's dealing with like a toddler. Like, you know, you're walking around with your kid and they're like, the grass is green, frogs are cool, I want to be an astronaut. You know, they're just saying these random things when they first learn to talk, and they just got so much to say. And as a parent, you're just like, yep. You know, I don't have kids of my own, but I see it all the time. You might even be walking through the grocery store, your kid's in the buggy, and your kid's just talking about all types of stuff. And you're like, yeah, honey, as you're grabbing Cheez-Its and throwing it into your shopping cart. So that's what Sam's life is like. He's just constantly, all day, with a manic Britney who has these bursts of energy. You know, that's why she's constantly spinning around. People think it's because Britney likes to dance. That's not dance moves that you see displayed on Britney's Instagram account. What you're seeing is these manic bursts of energy. And the only thing that Britney knows to do is to spin in circles in these moments. So she spins in circles when she has these manic bursts of energy. You know what I mean? And I feel like Sam is just constantly walking around all day, just entertaining Britney's little weird things that she does. And even in that clip, you hear Britney in the background. Oh, look, pull-ups here. You can do this over here. Look, and then you stand in this spot and then pull up on this spot. And then you do things in this spot and then you go over here to this spot. Like, that's not the average conversation that you're having with your husband while he's laying in bed and it looks like he's about to go to sleep. You know what I mean? Like, this is a moment and he's looking like a parent. He's looking like an exhausted parent on Christmas morning who's still laying in bed and the kids running around with their toys and, you know, going crazy. That's how his life is. But this little live stream, even though it's not much, I think it gives us a lot of insight on how Britney is. And Britney is exactly how I thought she was. This person that is just all over the place. And Sam's just the guy who's just there. He'll be like, yeah, crazy. Yeah, that's right, Britney. Yep. Oh, yeah, spitting's cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah, naked photos. Yeah, I'll take a couple. Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah. You know, that's just the dynamic between these two. But I think, like I said, this little live, it shows you that behind the scenes, Britney is very much the same way she is on Instagram. All over the place, erratic, just, you know, buzzing. That's the only way I can think about it. Like a buzzing mosquito. You know what I mean? I hope you understand what I'm saying. But anyway, let me know what you all think down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.